Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to add that extra backlight to your backlit images. So after I was done editing, I had this image, and I do like it, but I was like, it's kind of missing something. I wanted to have more of a fairy tale look to it. So what I did was I really played up the backlight that was on her. You can see she has that nice rim light all around her here. This was shot during golden hour, and the light was behind her. I found a nice sunny spot through the trees where the light was shining through, and I placed her in that light facing me. Her back is turned toward the sun, which is how we get that beautiful rim light behind her. So what I did was I added an extra layer. I took my eyedropper tool and I sampled an area of the rim light here. So I'm just going to grab a really bright area. I'm not sure that I want it white though. I want it kind of more of a yellowish. And then with my brush, I had a soft white brush and I made it as big as possible. It's at 5,000. That's as big as it can get. And then I'm just going to dab that right over top of her. Okay, so I'm going to change this layer's blending mode to screen. I'm going to put a layer mask on it so that I can paint it off of her. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it all in the background, and it's going to start where this light is. So I'm going to take it, I'm just going to go around the outline of her and take it off of everywhere inside that outline. I even took it off of the flowers, the inside of the flowers here. I left the parts that were glowing, but I took some time and took it off of the rest. And I did this because you do want it to look believable. So it is worth taking your time on. Okay. Because it is not going to be shining through those flowers. And this one here. It just wouldn't look believable if I hadn't taken the time to take it off of these few parts here. Okay. You can see. Okay, so there is this, and it's even coming around her a little bit. So I'm going to do another layer, and I'm going to keep that same color. But this time, I'm going to paint it down here. Again, I'm going to change that layer's blending mode to screen. I am going to lower the opacity of it. Put a layer mask on. And paint it off. And then at 30%, I'm going to take it off of her arms. Okay. And then what I did, I added a dust overlay. You can find those anywhere, anywhere online. And then I added rays, and I made the rays myself. It's fairly easy to do. You come to the new layer, and you want to make a gradient. You don't want the gradient to be colored, you want it to be black and white. The style needs to be angle, and you can see, because now it's going to fan out from the center point. And we want to move this. I think her head is about right here. So I'm going to put that about right there, and you can move it to anywhere you want. You can see the rays are now coming this way. If you do it over here, they're going to be coming from this way. But I'm going to put it just right there. I'm going to come back and I'm going to double click on that gradient. Gradient type is going to be noise. We're going to come down to color model and we're going to change it to HSB. We're going to down the saturation completely, and we're going to add transparency to it. And then what we do is we just click randomize, and we go through this until we find one that we like. I like that one. I want it to be coming out from all different directions. So that one's perfect. It does need to be moved a little bit because it's not in the center, but we can always do that. The roughness is how pronounced the rays are going to be. So if we put it at 0, it just looks like, you know, we slapped a white solid layer on it. If we change it all the way to 100, that's what they look like. So it starts you out at 50. I prefer maybe between 40 and 50. It just kind of softens them up a little bit. I'm going to go with 45. I'm going to click OK, and it takes you back here, and then you can move it around wherever you want. I'm going to put it in the middle. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to come and I'm going to change the blending mode. There's a couple different ones you can change it to: lighten, screen, overlay, soft light. It just depends. A lot of time I like to put them on screen. For this one though, I think I want it to be soft light. And then again, I am going to, just like before, I'm going to take it off of her. It's going to start at the rim light. And you can change the opacity of it. It doesn't have to be that much. And then you can see we still have this little thing up here. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to go to filter and blur. I'm going to Gaussian blur this back here. So I'm just looking at this right here. Okay, so before and after. Thank you guys so much for joining me.